I think Portugal is a really interesting country because it's small enough that Portuguese people feel that if they travel around Europe, not everyone will understand Portuguese. So the use of English as a second language is very, very high. And amongst people who are engaged in education or business or journalism, it's super high. So you can publish here in English and people will pick it up. But I think also what happened was, we were a magazine that was born out of the crash in a way. So we launched in 2007. 1 year later, there was the financial meltdown. And as a brand, we had to navigate that. We had to think, how do we get through these next few years? And it was, there were lots of complicated questions. But one thing we got fed up with was just listening to miserable stories. And we thought, actually, what can we report on to show the way ahead? So actually, in those very early years, we came to Iceland almost every single year. We would do a health check on Iceland. We came to Portugal very early on. And instead of coming to Portugal and saying, the country has a financial crisis, the unemployment rate is going up, the services in the city are failing. We came and said, okay, what's really interesting about Portugal, is they still have amazing ability to produce shoes. They have amazing ability to produce clothing. They have really inspiring companies. They have a tech generation that is beyond compare. And we told very positive stories about Portugal in those early years. And we used to get amazing response from people. People would write and say, do you know what? I've just read X magazine. I'm fed up of reading miserable stories about my country. You've come here and said, actually, Portugal's got lots of great things that it can capitalize on. Then we did a conference here, which also helped. Then we did some surveys here. And then you cut to today, and I look in that audience, and there are people I've met several times. We have Portuguese staff with us in London. And it's just become part of our DNA. So in fact, when we did issue 101, the revived issue, we said, of all the countries in the world, which is the country that would feel most relevant and most important to have a survey of in that issue? And everyone, there was no discussion, it has to be Portugal. So we returned and we did this big survey about Portugal. So Portugal has been, I think, important for shaping our brand and has been an amazing market for readers. But I guess it's also, your story is our story in a way. We've all charted these turbulent times and come out on the other side. And look at Portugal now. Where, you get on the flight to Porto now from London, it's packed with people coming to place orders in the factories for clothing, for shoes, for all sorts of industries. It's changed the magazine in lots of small, sad ways. We are aware that many of our staff are concerned about what happens going forward. People have been asking me, do you think it's safe for me to travel in March? What happens if I don't get back into the country? Now, I think it's going to be fine, but that's in people's minds is terrible. As a company, we will remain in the UK, and of course it's a very important place for us, but we took the decision that for the magazine printing, it was just getting too crazy. We didn't know whether trucks would be able to get in and out of the ports. We still don't know, as we're having this interview, what's going to lie ahead for the UK in the coming days. So we took the decision to move the printing of the magazine to Germany and to do our logistics out of Germany. So we have to get that magazine into envelopes, out to subscribers. We have to get it on newsstand. It has to be done super efficiently. So this latest issue, our spring issue, will be published, printed in Germany. But for now, we remain headquartered in London and in Zurich as well. But yeah, there's lots of things that have changed about our company, I think every company in Britain, and about our country since that decision was taken. We have new projects in the world of books, which I'm really excited about. We've just recently opened an outpost in Los Angeles. We moved our office from in the US from New York to Los Angeles. and certainly not going to be starring any movies, but we certainly have some discussions going on with people in LA, which could change the way that we feel about our business as well. So some interesting conversations happening there. And I think that we're also looking at how we have physical space going forward. So we've always had these small cafes and shops, but we opened this amazing space in Zurich last year, and there's certainly ambition and discussion about in what other cities can we do this same kind of project which brings together a large amount of retail, cafe, bar, radio studios, and is an emblem in our key cities for all the things that we believe in.